Your wings may not be enough to fly, they said. You might as well not try. Yet we believe deep in our hearts that we may just run out of skies. The past 25 years, a generation that gave new wings to India's dreams, that soared higher than the sky itself. We are proud to have been a part of this journey, walking with you every step of the way. We hold dear the memory of the day when Shanti Devi's house stepped out of years of darkness and bathed in the glow of an electric bulb. Sunil's journey from a scooter to his first car and that priceless joy on his face seems like yesterday. We were there. When Mirza's first ever flight with his wife turned from dream to reality, we were there. When a tiny device set 1 billion people free from endless queues at PCO booths and brought the world to their palms, we were there. When India's railway system leapt into the future, it brought people and places closer together. We were there. When a handful of ordinary women like Rupa Devi with their extraordinary spirit made India the largest producer of milk, we were there. When the massive expansion of oil refining and natural gas capacity infused a new energy in the nation, we were there. When Diljit's drive from Kashmir to Kanyakumari shrunk from weeks to mere days, we were there. When millions of youths like Rupesh were empowered with wings of digital education, their dreams found new horizons. When our software engineers gave India new identity and turned it into a global force, we walked alongside them. Today, as India stands poised to take a giant leap and soar towards new horizons, we are all set to fly along into the future. उन्हें था ये गुमान कि हमारी उड़ान में कहां दम है, और हमें ये यकीन कि आगे आसमां बहुत कम है। बीते हुए 25 साल, एक ऐसी सदी जिसने भारत के ख्वाबों को वो उड़ान दी कि आसमान भी छोटा पड़ गया। हमें फख्र है कि वहां से यहां तक के सफर में कदम दर कदम हम आपके साथ चले। हमें आज भी याद है वो दिन जब शांति देवी का घर सालों के अंधेरों से निकलकर पहली बार बिजली के बल्ब से रोशन हुआ। हम वहीं थे। सुनील का स्कूटर से कार तक का वो सफर, और उस दिन उसके चेहरे पर छाई वो खुशी हमने देखी थी। लगता है जैसे कल ही की बात हो। मिर्जा की पहली उड़ान अपनी बेगम के साथ जब सपने से सच में तब्दील हुई, हम वहीं थे। और जब एक छोटे से मोबाइल फोन ने 100 करोड़ लोगों को लैंडलाइन के इंतजार और पीसीओ बूथ की कतार से निकालकर एक सूत्र में बांध दिया, हम थे वहां। जब देश के साथ साथ हमारी रेलों ने भी रफ्तार पकड़ी, तो दिलों और मंजिलों के फासले सिमट से गए। और रूपा देवी जैसी चंद साधारण औरतों के असाधारण साहस ने जब हमको विश्व में दूध का सबसे बड़ा उत्पादक बना दिया, हम थे वहां। जब तेल रिफाइनिंग और प्राकृतिक गैस में भारत की बढ़ती क्षमता ने देश में एक नई ऊर्जा डाल दी, और जब दलजीत जी के लिए कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी तक का फासला अब हफ्तों से चंद दिनों का ही रह गया, रुपेश की तरह लाखों युवाओं के सपनों को जब शिक्षा के पर लग गए, तब उनकी उड़ानों को एक नया आकाश मिला। और जब भारत को हमारे सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर्स ने दुनिया में एक नई पहचान दी, हम चल रहे थे उनके साथ। और आज जब देश हवा के पंख ओढ़े एक नए क्षितिज का पता पूछ रहा है, हम फिर से तैयार हैं उस नई उड़ान के लिए।
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ronak Devan, and I belong to AeonX Digital. I'll be your host for the day. Firstly, a very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for attending today's event. This session is going to be very insightful, and I'm sure we're going to make it worthwhile. As organizations are accelerating, it is amazing to see all of you over here who are interested to learn how technology can help you take a step towards the future. With the rise in technology, it has become imperative to learn how to reap the benefits of it in order to gain competitive advantage. Without any further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Hemant Shivale from SAP, who's the mid-market sales executive. He'll be taking us through the journey of digital transformation through SAP.
Hello everyone, good evening, and thanks for joining this event. My name is Hemant Shivale. I'm the regional manager from SAP India. I look after the rest of Maharashtra and Goa region, and I'm sure a couple of customers I already met and they know me very well. Good to see you. Some more people are joining, but everybody has a time. So with your permission, I'll just start with the quick presentation. Let's make this interactive rather than just मैं बात कर रहा हूँ and everybody just listening. I'm sure you all have come today. There is some agenda in everybody's mind, right? So let's come and let's speak what exactly you think about SAP, or what do you think about SAP? Let's have this interactive session. I'll just keep my slides and we'll have these interactive sessions. Somebody, if we have mic or anything, if anybody has any questions, so they can. We'll just keep this slide, and I would just request if you can just read, and we'll have this question answer session rather than I'm just talking. What do you think about this slide? Anybody? Please be vocal, don't worry. And anything is comfortable. Marathi, English, Hindi, whatever. Okay, I'll just tell you. See, before starting this, let me give you the perspective why actually we all are looking for technology, or technology like SAP, right? We know India is a growing country, and we have a target to be a $10 trillion economy by 2030. But it's a very difficult task, but it's not impossible. right? And we have seen we got the independence in 1947. Since then, this is 75th year of us, and now we are at 3.4 or 3.5 trillion. So we can easily achieve that, right? But you know who is driving this economy actually? All companies like yours, those who are at small and mid-sized companies. There are very few large organizations. And how they become large organization? Because they started somewhere 50 years before, or I would say 100 years before, and now they are big companies, and that's why we claim that as a large enterprises. But you know this 3.5 trillion economy, who actually have helped to reach that? Companies who have started their journey after 1995-2000. Because that was the era when 1991 we got the license Raj, Mr. Manmohan Singh, who started this license Raj. After that, actually, many companies have started their journey. They started their plants at different locations. That's how the journey had started, right? And so SME, small and mid-sized business, which is key for any industry or any country to grow. And we are fortunate enough that India has the maximum percentage of SMEs with us. And you can see the numbers. SME contribute 29% to our GDP. It's huge for a country like India, wherein we have 3.5 trillion economy currently. 29% is being contributed by SME. So you can imagine what kind of, how important SMEs are, right? And plus they also help to 49% in exports, because you know providing services in intercity won't make a difference. The moment you give services out of our country, that's we call as export, then only we get maximum benefits out of it, right? So if we want to become 10 trillion economy, obviously all SMEs have to reach to that level. So they have to increase this GDP and export. So there was one article wherein they have mentioned if we have to reach to 10 trillion economy, so all these SMEs have to increase their contribution to GDP from 29% to 50%, and export from 49% to 70%. But how will we do that, right? It's not going to happen just production increase kar diya, sales बढ़ा दिया and all, right? We obviously we need to put some processes in place so that हम लोग अगर 100 rupees का ये कर रहे, our profit margin has to increase from today. If you are getting 5 rupees, it should be there to increase to 10 or 15. Then only we can do that. How can we do that? Technology can only help in that direction. We have seen processes, everything has been implemented. But when you don't have any technology, that too integrated technology, it's very difficult. And we have already seen that. Couple of organizations, you'll be surprised to hear, Fortune, after 2000, Fortune 500 company, most of the Fortune 500 companies have started shutting down their businesses because they could not understand what exactly future lies ahead. And they could not change with the technology disruption. But we are in that era, actually we are experiencing, I'm sure you must have seen what we were doing in last 10 years before and what we are doing, right? So now I hope you understand this slide, why the perspective we are doing. If you SME have to reach to that level to help our GDP increase from 29% to 50%, you all have to adopt the technology. And that's where we are there to help you along with our partner AeonX. I hope now you got the perspective why, yeah. So what is SAP's vision towards to make you the intelligent enterprise, right? So I'll just show you a couple of perspective here again. You know 2000, right? Y2K era, जब .com आया था, right? पहले सब लोग I'm sure .net based या फिर Foxflow based या COBOL based system use करते थे. And वो system सिर्फ अपना एक application या एक जगह पे था. But we could not be able to connect to all our different plants or the different offices, right? Then Y2K came and it was a boom. Everybody thought, "Arey yaar, something big is going to happen." Yes, it has changed the way we all used to work. It has changed the way we all used to look at the things. क्या होने वाला है, right? So if you can see, in SAP, this is 50th year for us globally, and in India we have completed 25 years, right? In 25 years, we have seen a lot of journeys, lot of ups and downs. Every year we used to close a deal, we used to make this success. Again, customer came back to, nahi yaar, again something new has come, we want that. That's how we are also learning from you guys only, right? And we have the global expertise, which we are taking that global expertise and helping all our Indian SMEs to grow to that level, right? So if you can see, 10 years before 2000 or 2010, everybody had these siloed enterprises, right? Everybody used to finance के लिए कुछ अलग application है, sales के लिए कुछ अलग application है. Mostly I'm sure Tally सबने सुना ही होगा, सब लोग Tally use करते ही, right? आज भी Tally चलता है. We cannot claim that कि Tally ये नहीं है. But Tally has also evolved, right? They themselves previously it was only accounting software. Then they started, नहीं यार, many companies started asking them, यार कुछ purchase का add कर दो, कुछ sales का add कर दो. They started doing that. They wanted to become the ERP, but they could not, right? So there, and for any organization to be a successful, these are the 4 criteria that we understood. You need to have process digitization, analytics, external collaboration, intelligence and automation. And all these 4 pillars, right? Everything has a digital quotient. Some places it's high, some places medium and low. It all depends on the company to company. You could be 50 crore company, you could be 500 crore company, or it could be 1000 crore company. Your quotient will be different. But what we understood in 2000 to 2010, the focus was on the siloed application and connected enterprise. Then Y2K come, it has helped just to connect the enterprise, just connect the dots, right? Then the main, in last 2010 to 2021, this is where most of the things got changed. I'm sure you also could have experienced that. Thanks to the 3G, 4G, and now again, we have a big thing, it's 5G, which is coming, right? 3G and 4G aane ke baad, many things got changed. You can easily communicate with anybody over the phone. You can easily communicate by video call, right? So, which was very difficult. नहीं तो क्या होता था, हमेशा आप, if we have to talk somebody, we have to go there, or we have to, suppose if that person is based out of some other place, we have to go, we have to travel. There are many things which used to happen. But now you can see, once we became the connected enterprise, we have to extend that to our enterprise, and we want to become the intelligent enterprise. That's what SAP has done over the years. This is, we called as Rise to an Intelligent Enterprise. You can see that Rise with SAP. This is our latest offering. So this Rise with SAP is our offering. It's not different product or anything. It's the same SAP, but when we talk about Rise, as we have also grown up in last 25 years, 50 years, we want to help our customers to rise with us, so that whatever knowledge or the expertise that we have, we want to share with you, so you can also grow and help finally to in our GDP. Any question here on this slide? I told you, let's be interactive. But are you connecting? I'm sure, or are you, if anybody is disagreeing, please let me know so we can have a discussion. I would love to do that. Yeah, आपका कुछ experience होगा. I'm sure most of the people are in 40s and 50s, right? So you have seen many softwares. कुछ लोगों ने SAP देखा भी होगा, right? Anyone would like to share their experience? No worries. We'll have a question and answer session, so we'll do that. Thanks. So what is intelligent enterprise? A clear path forward, right? So this is what we have. This is our 50 years of experience, everything that we have put into our offerings. सब लोगों ने SAP सिर्फ ERP करके सुना होगा, right? But we are more than that. ERP तो हम लोग, we have been doing that since ages, right? but we have not restricted ourselves only to ERP. We are more than ERP, right? So, intelligence suite, ये सबने SAP ERP ECC सुना होगा शायद, I'm sure. SAP ERP ECC सुना होगा, right? So we have already made our footprint into ERP world. Now we want to help our customers with how best you can use that ERP to collaborate with each and everyone, not only your internal employee, to your external business partners also. Now I'm sure everybody understand we are into the digital economy and this connected world. So if we have to grow, we have to grow along with our business partners, right? And we should know what our business partners are thinking about us. That's where this experience management come into picture. So with this 50 years of experience, we have intelligence suite and we have industry cloud. What this industry cloud is nothing but the 50 years of our experience. We have 28 different industry verticals. We understood, we have implemented, some places we have failed, again we came back, again we are putting everything into that, and we made that all best practices and next practices. That we called as industry cloud. So it's a complete cloud solution with the industry specific verticals. I'm sure you can understand whether you are in manufacturing, whether you are in construction, whether you are a project based company, retail based company, most of them have a different processes. One thing is common is finance, right? Everybody needs finance, everybody needs sales. What changes is the production or the construction. If you're doing construction, if you're in retail, sales is important. That's how the processes change. So we understood that these are the main processes that are required for any company, and we have already put in those processes in this industry cloud. So now whatever application that you will go for SAP, you will get the best practices and next practices. Best practices मतलब हमें पता चल गया ये next practice already inbuilt. What I'm talking about next practices is, we know that based on our assumption, where are we heading? What will come in next 10 years? So we are already ready with that. So it's a future ready solution that we are offering you. This is where the difference we are differentiate ourselves from our competitors or whatever products. Tally, no problem. It's good solution. Again, we don't say bad about our competitors. Tally is not at all a competitor. But again, if you really want to become an intelligent enterprise, you need to have the right technology in place with the best practices and next practices in it. That's where SAP Rise with SAP's offering comes into picture. Apart from that ERP, right, we have business technology platform. Most of the organization, what they used to do, एक बार SAP लगा दिया, उसके बाद again they, अरे यार ये तो बहुत तकलीफ. I'm sure you also could have experienced, right? So what we have done, we understood that, and in cloud, what we have done, we have changed the entire user experience. The user interface we have changed. जिन्होंने भी ECC पे काम किया होगा, I'm sure you had to put in those T codes, फिर T codes पे जाके वो SAP का screen खोलो and all those stuff. Now gone are the things. Now we have completely tile-based approach. A person who is doing the data entry, before doing the data entry itself, he will have all the facts and figures ready with him. If he is a purchase manager, before raising the purchase order for that particular vendor, what all the transaction that we have done along with that vendor in last 5 purchases, you will have that information ready with you, which was not possible earlier, but it is possible in cloud. This is only possible because of this BTP, Business Technology Platform. So we also change a lot. And plus, this business technology platform will help you to develop your own application. पहले क्या था, सब कुछ हम लोग SAP पे ही कुछ भी कस्टमाइजेशन करना होगा, रिपोर्ट बनाना होगा, कुछ भी ये करना होगा, हम लोग SAP पे ही ज़्यादा ये करते थे. उसकी वजह से क्या होता था, most of the times your system बहुत slow हो जाता था. आपने, I'm sure you could have experienced that, right? So to avoid that, we have got this business technology platform. So any customization, we already have put in best practices and next practices. Apart from that, anything specific that you want to develop for your organization, we have low code, no code platform. That's we called as business technology platform. On a click of a button on the fly, you can develop your own application, which can easily integrate with the industry cloud solutions, and you can start using the system. Gone are the days wherein you had to depend on the IT team कि यार IT team को बोलो यार ये develop करके दे and वो develop करके दे. Now a business people like you can easily develop your own application by using this business technology platform. On top of that, we have sustainability. I'm sure everybody could have heard the zero net carbon footprint. It's the agenda for each and every country. कितना चल रहा है मतलब बारिश एक्सट्रीम, गर्मी एक्सट्रीम. अगेन नागपुर में क्या बोल रहे हैं, नागपुर में सब कुछ ही एक्सट्रीम होता है, आई नो दैट. सो टू deal with that, like we definitely need a sustainability management, and that's why we have put in most of the processes related to sustainability. How SAP software, आप सोचोगे यार SAP और ये क्या है, but we understood what best we can help towards this sustainability. We have put in those processes into our application, and whenever you will go for RISE with SAP, that will be part of that. And you can use those all EHS, environment, health and safety, plus sustainability related all data can be managed. Software will help you. Is it going in the right way? How much green emissions and all that we are capturing the data, how you are using that data, those all can be done by using this sustainability management. Plus, we have business process intelligence. As this entire 50 years of experience, most of the business process for each vertical we already put in, and you can make best use of those processes in your implementation. Previously, I'm sure you could have heard, यार SAP implement करने के लिए मुझे तो सालों लग गए. It used to take time. Now you can implement SAP in 2 to 3 months or maximum 6 months, because most of the processes are already inbuilt in it. Before you ask us, you tell us your processes, we will tell you, sir, this is the requirement that you have, this is what you require. This is where we have changed. And we are not restricted only for this thing. This is across all functions. So it's an integrated ERP. Any module that you ask us, sales, finance, purchase, production, plant and maintenance, EHS, analytics, everything is inbuilt. Plus, ERP, as I told you, it is, सब लोग SAP लगा के बोलते हैं हाँ यार हमने SAP लगा लिया हो गया. It's not like that. SAP is only helping you internal management. When you want to connect to your external business partners, that's where this business network comes into picture. So we have these solutions wherein all your suppliers with whom you are dealing, all your customers, all your any other business partners that you are dealing, or you want to give experience to them, all that can be done. We have dedicated solutions for. We have SAP Ariba, which is all your suppliers starting from your entire registration or searching a supplier. If you start a new business in some other country, but you don't know who are suppliers there, we have a supplier hub in Ariba, wherein you can just go, what product that you want to buy, you just need to put that. System will help you to find out in that particular location who all are the suppliers, the manufacturers who are manufacturing that particular product. You can easily start engaging with that. That's kind of Ariba hub that we have developed. That's we called as our entire supplier relationship management. Then we have CRM, customer relationship management. A fantastic experience that you want to give. Now you know most of the customers, gone are the days हमने से mail भेज दिया या call कर दिया कि sir क्या करना है. You want to give an experience wherein you have the portal wherein customer can go select his product. We all do that, right? अगर हमें खाना भी मंगाना है, we make use of Zomato, right? अगर हमें कुछ खरीदना भी है, we make use of Amazon. Let's take example. Why can't we use that technology in providing the services to our customer? That's where CRM comes into picture. So we have a dedicated C4HANA or customer experience model with us. Then we have, everything is done, right? Then most of the places we have seen SAP डाल दिया, सब कुछ हो गया, but you really want to connect your employees, right? That's where we have success factor as a solution. Entire hire to retire cycle can be managed along with the payroll. Industries, India specific localization payroll. You know, India में many changes which happens when we talk about payroll. All of a sudden rules change हो जाते हैं. If your software is not capable enough to make those changes, it's very difficult for the particular HR person to make those changes, right? But we have the dedicated payroll success factor as a solution. Any changes which government comes, you will have those changes handy with you. You can easily implement that in your solutions. So we have all This is called as business network. So we have the entire platform ready for you. And this is completely cloud-based. We are no more on-premise company. We used to sell on-premise, but now we are completely cloud-based company. Anything that you want to buy now from SAP, it is completely cloud subscription-based. So you experience it, you like it, and then you start your journey. That's how we are giving the experience to our customer. Any question? Yeah, please. Yeah.
If I have lots of huge number of say customization,
Okay.
so hello, so it will take care automatically that it will migrate my all customization to your RISE, means that cloud-based solution, or whether I need to do any jugglery with your system. Nowadays what happened,
Okay.
I had done lots of upgrades and rollovers.
Okay.
So you know that whenever
True.
it comes to upgrade, you have to do SPDDs, POW and every functional changes carry out.
True. Correct.
And in your system, retrofit also there, if I will come from my legacy system.
True.
So whether your system provide me that facility or leverages to, it will take care of all things automatically, because it will have huge cost, you know that.
True. True. Very good question. So I have a question for you. Which legacy system that you use?
ECC.
Okay, SAP ECC. It's our own
already.
SAP only.
Yeah, and I have
Yes.
huge number of
Right.
customizations,
Very
as well
good
as
question, sir.
technical changes. You
Okay.
know that user exits, baddies, lots of things, and your system is more advanced than the regular
True.
what I'm using. So I'm not getting lots of exits and body enhancement spots over there. So
Okay.
it will be like huge pain for me to again do everything.
Okay.
So you just have to.
You want to answer or should I answer? You can. I'll add to yours. By the way, let me introduce. He's Anil Cooper. He's the channel director of SAP.
So this is a common problem that most of our customers who want to migrate to RISE with SAP have these apprehensions whether the customizations will be taken care, because it's close to heart, because that's where the efforts have gone in. There is a window, or probably this would be a window for you to make an opportunity to relook at your customizations, what you have done. How much customizations have gone in, and what are the new things that have come in RISE with SAP. जो आपने customization किया होगा वो शायद अभी standard में आ गया होगा, and processes simple हो गया होंगे, where you may or may not need the exits and everything. When you very specifically look at RISE with SAP, clubbed with BTP, that is where you get a room to re-innovate those customization, put it into a process and automate it. For example, if at all there is a customization for a specific process, BTP is a platform that gives you that flexibility that you can create that additional process or probably an application and connect back to SAP. So it will be an one-time exercise. We will not deny that fact in assessing what customizations have gone in, what are the different processes that have been developed on top of SAP, and how easily that can be moved. Assessment has to be done. Possibility, yes, there are multiple and numerous possibility on BTP. That's going to be the future of SAP for sure, because that's where the innovations of the customers will come in. So just to answer your question, simple, yes, there is a possibility. Assessments have to be done on what are the customization. Cost-wise, relook and assess on the value that this particular solution bring in. Of course, the cost goes down automatically.
Thank you. Thanks, Anil.
Yes,
You are absolutely bang on. That's why we got this BTP, right? We understood, sorry, Anil.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what we understood, right? What used to happen wherever we have sold SAP, right? Most of the people used to do customization in app itself, because that was the easy way. एबैपर को बोल दिया उसने बापी बना लिया. Sorry for Bapi Badi. I'm sure those who have worked in SAP, they can understand, but those who are new people, those are the old terms. But as we have the customers, I'll just take those nomenclature. Don't be surprised that it's not Bapi Badi, अरे क्या बोल रहे हैं, but it's just a way to make the customization. Sorry? Okay. So that's where BTP comes into picture. We now, any cloud solution, we always recommend have the extensibility approach rather than do the customization in app itself. And for your question, we have the business scenario recommendation, BSR report, which can be generated from your existing system, which will tell you which are the processes which are redundant. I'm sure you could have implemented 10 years before. That time requirement was different. Based on that requirement, your system got developed, your system got introduced. Most of the processes, it could have been not there, that's why you have developed. In last 10 years, this industry cloud, we understood that these were the main processes which are not there, wherein customers have done the customization. We are already inbuilt into that. So once we'll go into Rise with SAP, we have seen, based on our experience, 60 to 70 processes, the customization that you have done has already got eliminated, because those processes have already put it into industry cloud. Only some delta processes, which is key to your organization, can be developed by using the BTP platform. And any new upgrade that you are asking, it's very easy, because when we talk about cloud, right, we want to give you a great experience. When we want to give you a great experience, there should not be hiccup in the technology. And you know the way technology is changing. आज कुछ है तो कल कुछ आएगा, and after 5G, I don't know what will come. कहाँ पे हम लोग क्या connect करेंगे? We really don't know, right? So considering that, we want to keep our core clean. जो ERP है, we want to keep that clean. That's why this BTP has a major part to play, wherein all customization can be done in BTP, and it can easily connect to that. That's why this is a burger. So what we are telling our customers, don't restrict yourself only for this ERP. ERP डाल दिया और हो गया. If you really want to become an intelligent enterprise, you have to connect all your dots using the SAP technology. That's where you will feel, or you will see the difference. Thank you. Thanks for this question. Yeah. Sorry, I'm taking much time. I know. Just I'll write up. Now I'm sure you could have understood what is Rise with SAP, right? It's an offering wherein all the best practices and next practices, along with some bundled services from SAP you have put in, and that's what we called as intelligent enterprise. And you can see different industries. We have identified 28 different industry verticals. Each industry vertical has its own different processes. Be it the manufacturing, be it retail, construction, any industry that you are in, we have a solution for you. That's what, this is the entire, I would say, entire map, different industry map that we would like to showcase to you. Whether you have logistics providers, distribution centers, service workforce providers, manufacturing partners, indirect and direct material suppliers, all can be interconnected to your intelligent ERP. This was not possible. This was possible in SAP ECC, but it had its own way to look at it. But now, after cloud, we also understood that this is very easy. That's why we have open APIs that you can easily connect to all your OEMs. If you are a supplier of Tata Motors or Mahindras or anybody, all those companies are already using SAP, right? You can easily connect that. And again, Mahindra, sir, I'm sure you can understand Mahindra, SAP, since they've been using it since ages, now they are doing the Rise with SAP implementation. You can imagine huge, almost 25,000 plus users they have. They are spread across the globe, but they have adopted this Rise with SAP technology, and they are doing that. Sorry?
Point of SAP having the retail point of sale system?
Point of sale?
Yes.
No, sir, to be frank. We don't have point of sale as an application.
That's why I'm asking.
Sorry?
You told me retail system, you are having the retail system. That's why
Yeah, I'll tell you. When we talk about the... Yeah, please.
We have very specific solutions on the IS, what we call it as IS retail. So that covers the entire facet of the processes of the IS retail. It's not. It covers, from the point of sale system, we do have it, but we do not recommend it because of the cost consciousness of the Indian customer. It's not that we do not have it. We had it. We had it in the roadmap, but we did not continue with that. But very specific from the shop floor thing, the merchandising, the assortment planning, the replenishment planning, and everything that talks about the retail, we have it there. which is clubbed with your backend processes, what you call it as the operations, is a part of the ERP. This particular industry bucket sits on top of the ERP as the IS retail and then executes it. So just from a POS of it, you may not work with it, but whatever apart from POS, जो भी आके POS पे transaction करके गया, everything hits back. The supply chain has been triggered. The fulfillments happen. Order implement, all those logics are built in.
And just to add what he's said, right? With BTP, most of the retail companies are developing their own point of sale application. Because when we talk about point of sale, again, it's a user specific. Everybody has to look at different ways. We just need customer, we want to give a great experience to customer. Reliance is the biggest customer that we have, Reliance Retail. You can understand how big it is, right? So there are entire processes as using the... Yeah, I'm telling you, point of sale, again, we don't touch that. But whatever data it needs for point of sale, all those data is going out of ERP system. Yes, correct. That's what he told. The IS means industry specific solution for retail. All your different processes are available in IS retail, except this point of sale. Point of sale is just a transactional system, right? We just just bill निकालना है, इसकी वजह से हम लोग point of sale use करते हैं. Or else you can give direct SAP login also to the point of sale. True, obviously, yes. Okay. True. Correct.
New age technology, retail companies are they are not limited to the stores. They are limited, almost a omni-channel business that they run. Yeah. So here, point of sales become a minuscule application. When you look at when you are connecting those networks of aggregators or probably into the backend system, जो point of sales पे जो information आता है, वो SAP से ही आता है. Because it has to have a pull and push. Because every logic of the business is not on the POS. It's just on one system of execution that happens. But the entire business logic is built on SAP. Absolutely. The campaigns, the promotions.
Loyalty programs.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. So, while there are certain set of solid processes, which we call it as a best practices, with this particular platform of BTP, you can utilize whatever best you want to bring in as a application. For example, if at all in a retail segment, you want to have a very specific application altogether, very specific to your organization, depending on your own logic. You still can do it, connect it back through the connectors, and the same has to be sent back to the POS. You still can do that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So now this is my final slide. I know I have taken a long time, but what Rise with SAP, I'll just tell you in, right? It's a service. It's a business transformation as a service. It's a single contract with SAP. Your entire hardware, your entire application management, your database management, your security management, everything will be managed by SAP. So this is called as Rise with SAP. This will be a single contract with SAP. Only implementation will be done by the partners, and later on, if you need any support related to your processes that they have implemented, you need to depend on the partner, or else all the services will be delivered by SAP. This is what we call as Rise with SAP. It's a single contract, so you don't need to depend on, most of the times what we have understood, आपने SAP हमसे ले लिया, आपने खुद का सर्वर आपके कंपनी में लगा दिया, या आपने किसी का दूसरे का क्लाउड सर्विसेज ले लिया. But whenever there is any problem, there is always a blame game you used to start. नहीं यार वो SAP का problem है, नहीं यार ये इसका problem है. Even though internet connectivity problem भी रहा तो नहीं यार वो cloud वाले का problem है, right? So to avoid all those things, and if you really want a great experience, really want to make best use of the technology on cloud, right? That's why we got this Rise with SAP as a one single. So you don't need to deal with multiple people. You just need to deal with SAP. So we have SAP S/4HANA on cloud. So you get entire your ERP thing. Then we have entire infrastructure of your choice, could be Amazon, Google, or anything. Plus we have our own data centers also. So all can be managed by SAP. Business process intelligence. So this was the thing for all our existing customers. We, as I told you, BSR report that we generate, right? We understood that what are processes, how the processes are also being used. That's where this business process intelligence, we have a solution called Signavio, which adds a tremendous value, which has all the industry best and next practices in it. The moment you sign a contract, the first introduction that we give is from the SAP Signavio. These are the processes that you will require for your perspective. This is custom code analyzer readiness check. This thing Anil was talking about. This is the point that we were. Plus, we give some credits which you can use. I'm sure अगर आप बोलोगे नहीं यार ERP तो लगा दिया अभी सब करने से पहले I want to show to my management कि यार seriously how Ariba works, how intelligent, how success, how CRM works, or how other processes works, right? So we give you some credit which you can use to develop your own use cases. You can show it to management. Yes, sir, this is really working, which is adding a value. Then it is very easy to convince the management. Yes, sir, don't restrict yourself only for SAP ERP. SAP has more than what ERP solution they have. This is where the business network, so you get some starter packages along with Rise with SAP. This is not working, I know. Sorry. And last one is BTP, SAP Business Technology Platform. It is also part of your Rise with SAP. Some credit that we give, so you can make use of BTP. You can create your own application and can easily integrate with that. Yes. Any question? Anything? I know I have taken long time than what has been given. Any question? Anything? Yeah, please. I'll just, yeah.
So nowadays what happen, anything is changed, means statutory and everything is required.
Okay.
What we will do as a consultant, as a developer, SAP will provide some kind of notes before it going for the final patch, right?
Correct.
Production patch. So how you will deal with this? Means nowadays what will happen,
Yeah.
before going to effectiveness of that particular things like GST or 206.
The impact of that particular change.
So
in the
I am
system.
coming.
Yeah.
So SAP will provide some kind of notes.
True.
There is consulting always required,
Correct.
right? I had to do lots of things as a consultant.
True.
I have to manage the functional changes as well as the technical.
Correct.
How will do means deal such things? Whether you will give all the things readily available with this your SAP without any consulting with Rise?
The answer is yes. Till that period, whatever localization is required for considering India localization,
Yeah, right.
all will be part of the package till the time you are implementing. Your question is if any new changes happens, right?
Yeah, statutory.
So all the basis related work are being managed by our team. However, still you have to depend on your partner because you have to see the impact analysis of
Right.
the particular thing. अगर GST change हो जाता है, because you could have done some changes, some customization, right? So those all your partner has to do the testing, but to release that into the production, they have to get in touch with SAP team. However, before doing that, as you know, we are asking our customers to go for cloud clone core ERP, right?
Right.
Keep your core clean. So before you come back to us कि इसका impact क्या हो गया, we will come back to you along with notes. What will be the impact which will happen? Because everybody will have the same system, everybody will have the same processes.
Right.
अभी क्या होता था ECC में, ECC दे दिया तो the way you want to do customization आपने कर दिया. That's why it used to take time. जो भी नया पैच आता था उसकी वजह से प्रॉब्लम होता था. It won't happen. I understood your question, and this has been long debated internally along with most of the customers. Could be Reliance, Mahindras or anybody, because you know उनके यहाँ पे ज़्यादा impact होने लगा. So we have already tested that. After that only companies like Mahindras and all, they have signed this Rise with SAP contract. And again, you may see कि यार ये सब बड़े नाम बोल रहे हैं. In Nagpur also recently, Vishwaraj Enviro, if you could know, they are in construction. They have recently gone live on Rise with SAP. Then we recently signed a contract with Pix Transmission Limited. They are the largest conveyor belt manufacturer. Hingna Industrial Estate में उनका office है. They are recently signed. They are starting their Rise with SAP journey. Cataline Infra Products, which is again a small company, 120 crore company. You can imagine. They have also signed for this S/4HANA cloud contract. So gone are the days कि पहले लगता था SAP यार it's very costly solution and all that. It's not like that. When we got into cloud, we have different flexible models which we can discuss offline if you have any specific requirement. So SAP is not only for the large organization. SAP is for the SMEs also. That's where if you could, I had started my presentation by giving you the perspective of if we want to become a $10 trillion economy, all the SMEs have to grow up. And how you will do that? By using the right technology. That's where we make the difference. Yes, thank you. Anything else? I am there. Along with me, I have Kunal. Kunal is also from my team. And we have Anil. So anything related to SAP or anything, we have partner and entire SAP team is in. Thank you. Thanks.
I'll try my best. Thank you so much, Mr. Hemant. It was a great, insightful presentation, and it's always good to hear about issues such as sustainability. It's pretty important to address such issues at the moment. And of course, the audience, great interaction. I encourage you to keep on going. It's always wonderful to hear questions. Next up, we have Mr. Sharad Raina from AeonX Digital. He's the business development manager, and he's been in this domain for the past 10 years. He'll be taking us through some important market trends that's currently going on, and also he'll give you a brief introduction about AeonX.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining today. It is really encouraging for all of us here from SAP and AeonX to see you gathered here for today's event. So to begin with, I'll start with a quote. I'll start with a quote which was phrased by a British mathematician, Salev Humry, and he said, and I quote it, data is the new oil. I believe almost everyone must have heard about it. So the analogy he gave falls correct to this date, because data currently is something which powers the entire industry and holds a tremendous value. And if you keep it unfiltered, it is effectively worthless. So that's why you will see companies these days collating a lot of data, whether it is structured, unstructured, or semi-structured, so that they can drive value out of it at a later stage. So that brings to us the first analogy from the Gartner report, which says that by 2023, 40% of all the organization workloads will be deployed on cloud infrastructure and platform services, which is up from 20% in 2022. So this says that people are moving to collate and collect data, and the basis beginning can be done from an ERP or any kind of a digital transformation that you do in your organization. And going on, the data that you are having is not at all effective if it is there, lying there. So deriving value out of it and enhancing your customer experience. So this is something which organization kind of aims to. So coming to the second Gartner estimate and saying that by 2024, organizations with the IT teams that understand the need of customers will outperform, and basically organization customer experience metrics will increase by 20%. So thus making the customer experience better, along with having predictive information about beforehand, so that you can, instead of focusing on the support side of the things, you can focus on the product re-engineering that will enhance your customer experience further. So thus all these points, basically what I mentioned, are focused on digital transformation and how it is important for each and every organization to go through that phase lately. Now, would like to share you something about AeonX Digital as a company. So we call ourselves an IT consulting company into ERP and cloud solutioning. We are partnered with SAP, and we kind of bring in SAP products and SAP services, which basically empowers our customers and bring them into the era of the digital transformation. As a company, I would say we are 7 years into the market, and we have been able to vitalize and utilize basically our skill set to give highly effective and cost competitive solutions to our customers. And to bring some of the stats over here, we have around 35 plus customers as of now, as we speak, and out of those, almost 10 plus customers are listed companies in the market. And we have done more than 25 plus S4HANA implementation project, which include implementations of RISE, previous S4HANA, and even the upgrades and rollouts. Apart from that, we have a great number of customers who have their SAP landscape, and we are kind of supporting them. And as of now, I can give you the numbers that 10K customers, 10K end users are there, which we are kind of supporting from our offices in Mumbai and Gujarat. And in order to kind of support all these customers for their SAP landscape, for their day-to-day businesses, which are run through SAP, we have a very capable team, and we have a family of around 100 plus certified SAP consultants, which are with us working. And apart from that, the collective experience I can quote here is that around 100K of the collective experience they carry with themselves. So as a partner of SAP, we stand at a gold partnership level, and we carry this capability, and we assist our customers with RISE with HANA licenses and implementations. And we also have a 24/7 development center, which is running out of Gujarat, from where basically we provide end-to-end support services to our customers. Also, apart from that, we provide consulting as well. So consulting our customers so that they can bring in digital transformation into their businesses. So that is also a niche area we work with our customers with, whether filling the gaps in their existing system or pushing them for the digital transformation. So as we are speaking, we serve all these industries which are projected here. We started with the metal and mining. The journey began 7 years back with that. And now we are serving each and every industry. As you can see here, manufacturing is there, healthcare is there, automotive industry is there, infrastructure industry is there. So we are supporting and helping our customers in these industries. These are few of our customers where we are basically working and assisting them. And to name a few, we have customers like CK Birla Hospital, who are from the healthcare department. Then we have customers like Tata Communication, who are basically from the telecom industry. Then we have customers like D-Decor and Bilosa here, which are from the textile background. Then companies like Supreme Petrochem Limited and Tayo Nippo, which are the chemical companies, which are into chemical background. If I speak about infrastructure, we have customers like ITD Cementation. Then we have customers like IRB, Sadbhav Engineering, MKC Infrastructure, to name a few. In the FMCG segment, we have Gopal Namkeen and Snacks, which is a Radkot-based company. So just to let you know that these are some of the few of the customers where we provide support and assistance. And at the end, I would like to thank you all for your time and your attention. And I'll hand over to Ronak. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharad. Next up, we have a very exciting segment for you For this segment, we have a special guest who's flown all the way from Mumbai just so that he can be here with you guys. It's Mr. Huzaifa from KLT. He's the IT head at KLT, and he's been with them for the past 15 years. Joining him, we have Mr. Kunal, the director of rest of Maharashtra from SAP, and he belongs to a very diverse background. Lastly, we have our AeonX expert, Mr. Chandresh Acharya, who's the Assistant Vice President of Delivery, and he's been with us for 7 years and counting. Sorry, the topic of this panel discussion is business transformation, as you may know, the topic of the event, driving enterprise technology through cloud, and Mr. Huzaifa will be sharing his experience.
Hello, good evening, and thanks for taking out time and coming here. And especially thanks to you to fly all the way down from Mumbai for this particular session. And I think the main idea of this panel session is to pick both your brains to understand what was the reason behind your journey that you undertook. And I guess before that, very good sessions by the team before us, and a couple of points that sort of rung a bell with me. See, the things that got you from point A to point B will not necessarily get you from point B to C. So we need to keep reinventing ourselves, we need to keep innovating, without which we're never going to move ahead. A simple example, earlier days, you would have used a Nokia 3310. Would you do that now? No, exactly. So why do that with your company as well? Try to have the best in the business so that you can grow at a rapid rate. And segueing into that, I just questioned to Mr. Huzaifa, what was the reason or what were the drivers that got you to take the journey for Rise with SAP?
See, Rise with SAP, there were actually two driving factors. One was the data inflow and outflow, because as a manufacturing industry, we deal with all big OEMs, Tata, Mahindra, Ford. So there is lot of data interaction which happens day-to-day basis. And there has to be a transparency and also an automation, which was missing in our existing SAP. We were using ECC 5.0. We were on ECC 5.0 for maybe last 15 years. But somehow this thing was missing, data inflow and outflow. That was one thing. And second thing, what was a major factor was the automation. See, now we are into an era where automation is a need of an hour. We need automation in everything. May it be the processes, may it be the technology, we need automation. So that was the driving factor for us. Okay, we need to go with some software in ERP kind of thing, which can bring in the automation and the process which we are using now. They need to be simplified. See, now a user is doing a process and it is taking maybe 10 minutes. So we need to think how we can bring it down to maybe 2 minutes. So this was our main criteria where we went with Rise with SAP. And actually Rise with SAP has helped us. We implemented it maybe in 15th of August. We started our journey in September, and in last maybe 7 to 8 months, we had done lot of integration with our partners. Partners means our customers, Tata and Mahindra. To name a few, we have done GST automation. GST is now not an headache to us. Starting before Rise, we were struggling for GST reports, we were struggling for GST filing. Now it all been taken care with Rise. And the second thing what we have done is the automation in our internal processes for the reports. Reports what we were dependent on IT team, as Mr. Hemant told. Okay, we were lot of dependent on the IT team for each and everything. With Rise, that is been taken care, because now the Fiori has come. Fiori is a beautiful part of SAP. Maybe if we consider Rise with SAP with Fiori, then it's nothing, it's beautiful, it's very user friendly. A layman can create a report what he wants. He need not depend on anyone to create something or to share data with someone. These are the maybe 2-3 factors which has taken a decision that chalo we'll go with Rise with SAP.
Very, very rightly said. And I guess we live in a world which is in the in an experience economy and in a connected world. So I guess these were some driving factors for SAP as well to bring this product out, which is Rise with SAP. So the experience that you would see using the new product is much better than maybe an ECC.
Also, the speed what we get in Rise, it's a enormous factor. If you go with Rise, the reports which were taking maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, now they are coming in maybe a click of a second.
True.
So the technology what is happening in backend is enormous. Maybe it's truly wonderful.
Very well said. My next question would be, so how has the entire journey been from the process of implementation to post the implementation? How has the entire journey been?
Process of implementation, see, it was a challenging process because we were using SAP 5.0 and there were a lot of processes which were actually in the mind of the people. So the transition was a challenge because see, now if you are doing a thing, okay, subah mein aa raha hu and I am doing this thing, so you are habituated. So, but with Rise with SAP, we were little bit apprehensive, okay, how the users will respond to us. But when we started the implementation and when the user actually got the feel, then the transition was very smooth and users are now telling us that management did a right thing to go with Rise with SAP because their processes have come down, their time, they are saving the time and the reports what they want, they are going it on fly. And now we are planning in second phase IoTs. So IoTs jab aa jayega, then it would be a game changer for us.
Perfect. In fact, that was my next question. What is your roadmap in terms of?
Our roadmap is simple. Our roadmap is to automate everything because see, now we are in a era. Post-COVID, alag dunya thi. After COVID, it's a different world altogether. You can't depend on individuals for everything. You need to depend on system. And this is our roadmap. Maybe down the line, next 1 year or maybe in 1.5 years, we need to automate all our dispatches, all our procurement, and it has to be system driven. It can't be manual driven. You can't depend on someone.
So you truly want to rise to an intelligent enterprise.
Yeah. That's the reason we choose Rise with SAP.
Perfect. My next question would be to you, Mr. Chandresh. From an implementation perspective, what sort of roadblocks do you see?
So basically the primary problem which every partner is facing, that is change management. So as Josefa ji already said, they have everything is available in their SEC with their own problems. Like execution time was very high. As they are habitual with their Excel based reporting system, they are extracting data from the SAP and creating MIS reports for their own use. And the same way, the management also habitual with that reports, they cannot easily leave it. Transition should be very easy, or we have to make the transition very easy at that time, and we have to make the users understand that what kind of benefits they are able to do. So for that we have to touch the ground. So we have in initial phase we have started the discussion with the business heads as well as users actually, and we have spoken to their users in their language. हमने हिंदी, मराठी, गुजराती जो बंदा है accordingly बात किया. हमने उनके problems जाने कि which kind of problems they are having, and we have mapped S/4HANA Rise with SAP reportings and processes that can be adopted in standard way instead of handling all these enhancements and creating Z reports for their own use. There is a brilliant tool available in Fiori that is called Query Browser. So query browser, in that if a consultant who is having table level knowledge, they can create any kind of custom report on their own by putting simple logic. No need to code anything. They have to just drag and drop the fields. It is on click. So I have started from the change management, and we have made their journey easy by showing them such a best feature which is available in S4HANA.
So I guess people are used to Jugaad because at
Yes,
the end of the
yes.
day, what you talk about customization is Jugaad. So people are used to Jugaad, and now that change management is a concern that you see. But like you also mentioned that once people started using the system, that is where you saw the actual beauty of the system. So another point which I guess which also came out during a lot of the discussions is the customizations. कि मेरे customizations के क्या होंगे? So, and I think Hemant and Anil had already addressed that question, but a lot of those customizations may already be covered in the product. So you may have a list of say 100 customizations, but you may not necessarily need them. They may be automatically reduced because of the inbuilt solutions or inbuilt reports that are there within Rise with SAP. And maybe for the remaining the remaining customizations that you have, we need to question that, do we really need it? And if you do, then there's always a platform that you can bank on to develop those customizations. So, I mean, moving to the next question to you, what would your advice be to our audience here in terms of the mindset while looking at migrating to Rise with SAP? What would that mindset be?
So basically, if you are in ECC, then migration, there are many ways to migrate. But if you are thinking that what happened to my, I think all the points you have already answered. The question you have already answered. But let me explain it my way. So primarily, what happens that whenever we are planning to switch from any ERP, not from ECC or any ERP, or we don't have any ERP. So if you don't have any ERP, then there is a need of ERP. So why don't you choose Rise with SAP? If you are already on ECC, and rightly as you and Anil already explained that why you have to move, because of availability of features. So in our case, with KLT, we have got more than 90% of our enhancement available in Rise with SAP.
Perfect.
We were using almost in ECC, there were around 450 customized reports. But when we took the look into it, कि चलो Rise में जाना है, what actually we are using, we were not using more than 25 to 30 reports. लेकिन customization करके रखा है क्यों? क्योंकि user का requirement है. And out of that 30 reports, maybe we are doing 10 customization now, but rest 10 or 15 are covered in standard way. And maximum Fiori can cover that reports.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, thank you.
Maybe we can have a separate set of questions during the Q&A round. And
Yeah,
if anyone has questions, they can approach us. And
Sure, anytime.
so maybe just one example that I had when you mentioned, it's like moving from in the day of Office 365 using an MS-DOS system. If you're using ECC or the older versions, I just thought of a comparison that way. Thank you so much.
So I would like to invite Dhananjay, again another member of the business development team from AeonX, and Mr. Hemant from SAP for the Q&A session. So if you guys have any question, please feel free to ask them. I mean, you have a good platform to clear any doubts from three experts in the field.
A pretty simple question I would like to ask. You might laugh at that. From where this S4HANA name came from?
So let me give you in a layman's language because when I started, it was R3. R2 was हो गया R3 आया. R3 में से the next best thing happened was ACC. We kept it as ACC. Now a sustainable solid solution that had come in after ECC was S4. So R2, R3, and S4. So that's the simple analogy I could give you at this point in time. It's the nomenclature of the solution. While we completely revamped the SAP ERP as such, as I said, ECC was the best innovation after R3. S4 came in with its own set of benefits when the HANA as a database came in as a layer, and universal journals happened in the finance. The in-memory system came in. The way the computing used to happen changed. So while in line with the naming nomenclature, it is just a naming nomenclature. After R3, it is S4 that has come in. But of course, from an innovation perspective, it is huge. I mean, that's a shift, that's a change that has happened at SAP since 2013 that we have started, and now it is completely S4, and that's where we've been driving our innovations on S4, be it public cloud or private cloud. I hope I have answered it.
Just to add what Anil has told. Anil has already briefed you about ECC, our era, right? How we have started R2, ECC. Then in between, I'm sure you could have heard SAP All-in-One. That was also one name that gone. When this SAP S4 HANA, so entire our code that was on ECC has rewritten on HANA. HANA is our own proprietary language, which is the in-memory database, which helps you, like in our mobile, right? The moment we increase our RAM from 2 GB to 8 GB, automatically you can see the performance of the system. That's where we want to give a great experience to our customer. That's why entire application we have rewritten on HANA. And the other application that I had talked about, all your CRM, then your SRM, your success factors, your other technologies, those all also we have rewritten on the HANA technology, and all put together everything on a single platform. That's where this S4 HANA name has come into picture. But it's all about HANA and in a complete rechange of the way that we used to interact with our customers, the way we used to give services to our customer. We want to give a great experience of our own HANA technology, because before that we were totally dependent on our competitors. Like आपने सुना होगा कोई लोग Oracle यूज़ करते हैं, कोई लोग Microsoft का database यूज़ करते थे, कोई लोग दूसरा कुछ और database यूज़ करते थे. But we wanted to eliminate that. We want to give our own database, which has helped us a lot. And now you can see after 2013, I guess, right, Anil? After 2010 we launched HANA, but main our ERP has completely rewritten, and we started selling in since 2013. So I hope we could able to ask the question. Yeah. Any other question? Anything? Yeah, I think.
Hello. Yeah. Are all HSN code and SSC code are now available in your SAP?
Very good question, sir.
Because earlier we have quit only for the reason.
Correct. No, I'll tell you. See, again, when we talk about HSN code, right? It's a part of your GST related this thing. When we give the India localization, it's always a part of that. However, we can easily integrate that with the GSP, because all these GSN codes and all, they keep changing related to the changes government does. ये GST अलग हो गया, वो GST अलग हो गया, इसके लिए ये वो GSN use करो, उसके लिए वो number use करो, right? So it is very flexible for our GSP providers to do that. We take help from them, but it's completely integrated. The moment any new supplier or anything that you want to add, you can easily see whether that supplier is already inbuilt GST and number, or what is the GST and particular number for that. So we have SAP Ariba as a solution, which tightly integrates with the GSP providers, but that is possible in the ERP now. Yeah, Anil. Oh, great.
Just to answer your question in next, just 30 seconds, is the answer is yes. How do we do it? Most of the, not only SAP, most of the software companies who are involved in these enterprise solutions are working with the ministry to get this GST thing up and running. 2017 was when the disruption happened, and over the period it got smoothened. Now there are solutions which directly talks up to the government portal itself, whereas the intelligence of all these experience of last 4-5 years have been captured. So yes, that is there. It's just some tweaking that we'll have to do. That's not a major thing that's there. There are many other applications in the market. If you choose that, or probably you're working with that, it again integrates back with SAP. And that's the need of an hour, without which we will not be able to transact. So yes, that's been taken care at the moment.
Any other question, anything? Any question?
Thank you so much for all the speakers, and again, thank you to the audience. It's because of your interaction we can make these events successful. Coming towards the end of the ceremony, I would like to ask Mr. Chandresh and Mr. Hemant to stay on stage. We have a small token of appreciation for our speakers. So I would like, can I please ask Mr. Chandresh to present the token to Mr. Hemant? Can I please ask Mr. Huzaifa to come back up on stage? Mr. Kunal. And lastly, Mr. Anil. Right. On to our last segment, can I please ask the entire SAP and AeonX team to come up on stage along with Mr. Huzaifa. We have a small celebration for his success on transforming digitally in the very recently. So can I please ask Mr. Anil to present the trophy and certificate for going live to Mr. Huzaifa? And now just a very short cake cutting ceremony. Can I please ask, can you please bring the cake on stage? And just for your reference, these are the faces of today's event. If you have any sort of questions after our session over here, please feel free to connect with any of us and clear any sorts of doubts you have. Okay, so now I'm ideally supposed to be handing over the mic to Mr. Anil to close the ceremony. But sorry to go off the script. I just want to take out 30 seconds of your time and thank you all for being here. It's been a pleasure to host all of you. And once again, thank you so much for all the questions. It's because of audience participation that we can make these events a big success. So thank you so much.
So, thank you everybody for giving us an opportunity to narrate what our engineers at SAP, what our partners do to ensure the customer run their business simple and better. Redefining the ERP with the networks of intelligent enterprise, bringing in a lot of value to the customers and driving profitability, and of course, adapting the solution and making a change to the world around. So this is what we at SAP do along with our partners. Do let us know if at all you have any queries. We'll be happy to answer them. And of course, the dinner tables are all open. We will catch for a networking session during the dinner. Thank you, everybody. Thanks again. Bye.
Right, sorry, one last announcement promise. So the bar is, we'll open the bar shortly. You guys, I'm sure everyone has had a long week and we'll start serving starters soon. And dinner will be open in the next 15 to 20 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the evenings and have a great weekend.